What's up, Single Ball Reviews? Keegan here, and today we're talking about the brand new Brunswick Alert. Not exactly brand new, came out a few weeks ago, but I don't work in the pro shop anymore, so kind of get to it when I get to it. But I filmed this a week ago, had a bunch of plans throughout the past week, so I haven't had a chance to actually make this video yet. Let's talk about it. Cover is HK22 Savvy Hook Solid. Now, if that sounds familiar, that's the cover formula that was on the Crown Victory. They don't feel the same, I'll be honest about that. The solid versus hybrid, I've even thrown the Crown Vic at some surface. They just don't feel the same. I know they have wildly different cores inside of them, but this feels a good bit stronger in a really good way. RG in 15 pounds, 248, and a differential of 0.37. Pretty good numbers around there for this is a benchmark piece. That's pretty much what I was looking to drill, was something benchmarky. You look at those numbers and you look at other balls that have been around for so long, balls like the IQ Tour, the Venom Shock, or it wasn't around for super long, but it was in that realm and really good, the Exponent, or even going back a little bit, Road Grip's Daredevil line, where like it wasn't a super high differential for those benchmark balls like they're kind of pushing now. But this one has really intrigued me. I'm not gonna have any comparisons in this video. I'm actually gonna do a deep dive later on, comparing a bunch of low differential balls, and I even have a blank Scorpion low flare sitting around that I think I'm gonna drill to the same layout. The layout, by the way, is 50 by 4 by 75. This is pinned down, and I mentioned those three balls earlier in particular, the IQ Tour, Venom Shock, and Exponent, because I've had each one of those with this layout on it. Pinned down, pin below the ring, about an inch. And I've loved every single one of those. I even had a Scorpion with that layout on it. I don't know. I don't even know where that ball is anymore. I love that thing. Scorpion was one of my favorite balls of all time, but I'm really hoping this fills that kind of slot. Maybe something a little bit closer to the Hero Solid. That was my absolute favorite ball, maybe of all time. The Teal Round Pro is up there. I still have one of those sitting around. It'll probably be in that comparison video. I need to have it readjusted to my new fit, shorten my span a little bit to put less pressure on my fingers. Still have to redo that one. But let's go ahead and hop onto the lane and go from there. Alright, here we have the Brunswick Alert on lane, and you can see my specs over off to the side, 16.5 miles an hour, around 380 revs. When I went to that lower span, it did lower my rev rate a little bit, which is honestly good for me because it brought me a little closer to being matched instead of rev dominant. Now I still have pretty high revs though, because as you can see, I'm with a pin down low diff ball. I'm still kind of shaping the lane a little bit, but I'm throwing it pretty slow. Still relatively, but I'm a big fan of this motion. You can kind of see it just, it's not super early, it's not super late, but it's also not super forward, it's not super angular, not hook set. It's just kind of middle of the road. Like it has its limitations. Like you saw there, I pushed it to its limitations. I got it too far out, further down the lane than it likes, and it didn't make it back. Or if I throw it too slow and get around it, it goes through the face. You're going to see that a little bit in these shots. But that's the point. I'm trying to show you what this ball does. I'm not just trying to strike. But I'm also not really jumping around the lane too much. I kind of found where it liked to be, but I wanted to show you misses. I wanted to show you mistakes that are a lot easier to make versus, you know, jumping around the lane, see where it does. Even though I know that's pretty helpful, I'm going to be doing that in my deep dive comparison video. Whereas here, I'm just trying to show you the ball motion. And this is about as boring gets. This ball is not anything special, reaction-wise. And that's what makes it special. It's super controllable without sacrificing some down lane motion. It still has some. It's not just, you know, round on the back end. It has movement that you want. But as you can see there, you're going to leave some corner pins every now and then, especially if you get kind of more up the back of it. It'll cause some problems. If you're playing that deep, this ball is just kind of so I'm trying to think of like the best words to describe it, and I was talking with Luke Rosedal the other day. He's described this ball as a baby stealth mode. I really like my stealth mode. I still throw it every now and then. It's a really good ball for me to have in my bag, especially on sport shots, because it hooks and still moves on the back end. And I kind of described this one as being, if an IQ Tour and a stealth mode had a child, that's what this is. It's that kind of stealth mode shape where you still have motion on the back end, but it's IQ Tour levels of controllable. Or if you're wanting a B7 comparison, think balls like either the Sensor Solid or the like Web Tour series, because I think that's really their they haven't had symmetrical options in this range very recently. They've really been sticking with the ASIM Tour type stuff, the Envy Tours, the Effect Tours, going back, I started with the Obsession Tours, now we have the Black Widow Tour V1, but really none of the other brands are doing anything like this. Trek had the Sensor series a few years back. That was probably the closest thing in a minute. The Rhino Pro series, though, did have lower differential stuff. It was like 0.32, I believe, in 15 pounds. The RG was much higher. Now, the cover was strong enough to help offset that a good bit. Hence why the Teal Rhino is one of my favorites. But this fills that gap that I've been looking for a while now. It's very reminiscent of a Hero Solid. Throwback to the very first review that was ever on this channel. The Hero Solid was one of my favorites. It's kind of fit the same idea that I'm getting at here, where it still has a little bit of motion on the back end, but it's just, you get plenty of control up to that point to make sure it goes where it's going. This ball is boring. This ball is not gonna shock anybody with its motion. No one's gonna be like, dang, that ball can get back from anywhere, or dang, that ball hooked so early. It's not flashy. It's not super eye-catching either. The ball is pretty dull. It's got some neon logos, but that's a lot of balls out there. Pretty dark colors. I really like the blue of the logo. I love blue. This ball, on paper and by appearance, is nothing special. And that's exactly what makes it so special. This ball is exactly what it needs to be, which means this ball is going to be extremely useful to so many people. I know I'm like kind of hyping it up a lot, and I've said so many things that people will perceive as negative, but I mean them in a positive aspect. This ball is going to be a staple in your bag, because when you need to figure out what the lanes are doing, when you need something to tell you what those lanes are doing, or you just need the control, but you're not needing urethane, you're not needing, something with a ton of traction, but you're needing to know what the ball is going to do and have confidence that it's not going to just jump as soon as it sees friction, or conversely, that it's not just going to skate 60 feet. In those conditions, this is the ball. It's medium strength, medium to slow response, lower to medium traction, and it just does what you're wanting it to do. That's more than I can ask for typically, but it's going in the bag. It's going in both my sport shot and my house shot bag. I'll be throwing it tonight at League. I'll be giving it a go on some sport shots here soon. I'm probably not bowling on sport shot again until January, just because of life stuff. But this is what I'm gonna be throwing a lot of. I plan to drill a second one pin up, because I was in one of those situations last week. I was throwing in League where I really felt the fact that I drilled a pin down, and I was like, ooh, if I had one that was pin up and I was throwing this in the exact same spot, I'm shooting 7+. But did not do that. Rough night at League, I got real stubborn. Had nothing to do with the ball. I just got stubborn. It was just like hand positions. I needed to move like 10 boards right, because I was in the pocket. I was just not carrying anything. That was on me. But if I had the pin up one, would have had a little bit more through the pins. Anyways, I've been on Keegan Ball Reviews. Oh shoot, I'm Keegan. I hope I don't miss y'all next time. Thank you for watching.